Hey everybody, are you ready for some weird news? It's a good thing you're here if you are. Okay, let's get started with our first story. US Special Forces mistakenly storm olive oil factory during drill in Bulgaria. So there's a whole bunch of US soldiers, right, that are stationed in Bulgaria, and they have to they're participating in this the training exercise, right, where there's a whole bunch of buildings across this airfield, right? And they have to like clear out each building, like bust in with their guns, I guess, or whatever. Well, whoopsie doodle, there's an olive oil factory right next to the airfield. Soldiers accidentally invaded this olive oil factory, and there were workers present at the time of the incident. That would kind of stink, right? Just trying to do your job as a hard-working olive oil factory worker, and all of a sudden you get invaded by U.S. soldiers? Wow. But no injuries. But now the olive oil factory is filing charges. Whoopsie doodles. Well, that's kind of funny. Now on to our next story. Large chunk of ice falls from sky through Florida home's roof. So last Wednesday, there was a very unlucky homeowner who experienced a chunk of ice falling through their home roof. Apparently it didn't land in their house, it landed outside. So I guess it maybe just bounced off the roof and left that hole. Very, very scary that this can happen, right? That ice can just fall from the sky and go through your house, or like a meteor. This reminds me of a story last year that I did about a man who a meteor fell through his roof, but the meteor was made up of like a precious metal that turned out to be worth more than his like entire house. But this is just ice. That sucks. Just ice. Very unlucky that this can happen, but thankfully things don't fall through roofs too often. Am I right? Ha 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 ha. Let's go on to our next story. Eureka homeowners still in shock after car smashes through roof. Couple of unlucky homeowners, right? Awoke at 1:30 a.m., right, to a massive crash. Boom, boom. Probably like that, right? But louder. Anyways, they woke up to a car that had crashed through the roof and landed mere feet from where they were sleeping, and all of a sudden everything was on fire. But apparently the homeowners were able to extinguish the flames, and when they had done that, the people in the car had just gotten up and got out of the car and walked through the guy's living room. Rude! Don't you know that it's impolite to crash through someone's roof uninvited? But I know what you're wondering. How does a car crash through a roof? Apparently, this is what the article says, that the car left the roadway at very fast, hit a stump, and when airborne, hit the ground and started cartwheeling, and cartwheeled onto the roof of these people, right? Wow, that's unlucky. It's a good thing that these two incidents of things falling through roofs are very, very unlikely to happen. Good thing there aren't going to be any more news stories of things crashing through roofs, am I right? On to our next story. Mountain lion crashes through window into California home. So not a roof. I'm just now realizing. I was kind of setting that up like a mountain lion had crashed in through the roof. Let's just say that the mountain lion crashed through the roof, like it was a skylight. The window was. It probably wasn't, but apparently a mountain lion had broken through a homeowner's window after confusing taxidermied heads. At least that's what they think happened, right? Because there was taxidermied heads right near the window. Well, that's weird. How did a mountain lion crash through the guy's roof, right? It didn't crash through the roof, it crashed through just a window. But that would be weird if it had happened like that, right? Let's just move on. North Korea bans skinny jeans as symbol of capitalistic lifestyle. Right, so recently, North Korea have been cracking down on capitalistic fashion trends, capitalistic culture, right? From taking over the country. Apparently the regime, the North Korea regime, is cracking down on 15 haircuts that they deemed as non-socialist, right? And these haircuts include mullets, spiky and dyed hairs. No longer acceptable in North Korea. Wow. What else is? And apparently skinny jeans. It all makes sense, right? This is the thing I find most amazing about this article, right? Apparently the people that control, right, that enforce these rules are members of a state-run youth organization that act as the nation's fashion police. There are fashion police in North Korea. Like actual literal people that are fashion police. Wow. Except I think they probably have other jobs, right? And the fashion police is just like a volunteer thing. Other banned things include like nose and lip piercings and branded t-shirts. Well, North Korea cracking down. This is so sad that the poor, starving North Korean children can at least wear skinny jeans. And have a mohawk. That's my opinion. I want to be very clear though that like restricting like hairstyles and like clothing it's not like a unique thing in North Korea or like a recent thing. This reminds me of a TV program that I heard about that ran in North Korea from 2004 to 2005, and the title translates to "Let's Trim Our Hair in accordance with the Socialist Lifestyle." Terrible name for a TV show. It's way too long, you know. This show is insane, all right. Apparently this show makes the claim that hair length is connected to intelligence, and that having long hair, right, it depletes your brain of nutrients, right, because all your nutrients are going to your hair. So that's why you should have short hair, according to Let's Trim Our Hair in accordance with the socialist lifestyle. Oh, and there's pictures here of what's considered appropriate according to the show. Appropriate hairstyles. Wow. Well, I mean, those are both fine haircuts, I guess. Let's move on to our next story. Missing man found dead inside Spanish dinosaur statue. So in Catalonia, Spain, right, police are investigating the death of a man who was found dead inside of this dinosaur statue, right? And apparently somehow he had dropped his phone inside this dinosaur statue. At least that's what the theory is. And that they suspect that he had climbed inside this dinosaur statue in order to retrieve his phone and climb down one of the hollow legs of the dinosaur statue, like head first, but then couldn't get out, got stuck in the leg of this dinosaur, right? Horrifying, horrifying. This article, they suspect that he was in there, he was trapped inside this dinosaur for at least a few days. Horrifying. I don't know why I'm laughing. It's horrifying. Could you imagine being stuck inside a dinosaur for several days and like no one can hear you scream and then you die? Oh my God. Let this be a lesson, everybody. Don't climb inside of dinosaur statues. This is a terrible life lesson. Don't climb in tight spaces that you can get trapped in. Yeah, that seems kind of obvious too. But whatever. Well, that article was kind of sad, don't you think? Let's lighten the mood a little bit with our next article. Minnesota man breaks a second mohawk world record. Let me tell ya, this man would not be allowed in North Korea. Anyways, you want to know how tall this guy's mohawk is? Previously, he had broken it back last year in 2020, having a mohawk of 42.5 inches tall, but he went recently and broke that record, right? Now, he has the record for tallest spike mohawk with a 50.9 inch tall mohawk. Insane. 50.9 inch mohawk. That's 4 feet and almost 3 inches. Wow. So like if he was like 6 feet tall, he would be 10 feet tall, including his mohawk. Whoa. 40% of his height is just his mohawk. Alright, well that's all the news I have today. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you sometime in the future, maybe? Unless I die before then.